Greetings everybody and welcome. So it has been a while since my last video here on YouTube. Haven't been doing much flight simming anyways in the last couple of weeks. But right now it's time to do another one of those videos. This screenshot is by the way from DCS World. And when I can record it in stable 60 FPS, then I'm going to upload a couple of dogfights or other type of action. I do have the F-18 and the MiG-21. Both of them are quite complex, so I'm still learning. But maybe someday I'm going to upload a couple of videos in DCS as well. But there are quite a lot of great channels anyway on YouTube about DCS, so right now we are going to fly once again in xplane 11. And let's go to the site flightaware.com and pick a random flight from the real world. Usually I plan ahead and do the flight plan and all that before recording a flight, but right now we're going to improvise and pick a flight from the real world. Keep us on our toes, so we have to improvise. So we can browse by operator, airport, aircraft type. Let's do aircraft type. What do we want to fly? 320 and 737, quite a lot of those. 802. Yeah, it's a lot of airplanes despite the pandemic. 321, I do have the tallest 321 with the Neo variant. Actually, fantastic plane. 777, no. Dreamliner, the Magnite 787. Recently got an update. I don't have the 350. 319, one of the best. And I actually haven't really flown the JARDesign A330. It is also being updated quite often. So let's check out the A330-200. What's new with the JARDesign? It's an okay plane. It's decent. Not the best, not the worst. I also have the BSS sound pack for that. Yeah. So let's see what's going on here. Quite a lot of A330-200 flights going on. A couple of short ones as well. So, where do we want to fly? China, no. San Diego, Detroit, 4 hours. Maybe let's do this one with Delta. Or Kuwait International. Kuwait. I apologize if I mispronounced that. To Dubai, actually 1.5 hours of airtime. Yeah, maybe let's do this one. KAC 681. And OMDB. Yeah, it's still en route. Yeah, maybe do this one. Let's see how it goes. So, sim brief. Let's do a flight plan. To Dubai. And it was 681. KWI. And we are flying the 330-200 airframe. Kilograms. I don't really think we need ETOPS planning, step climbs, no. And this one. I'm just going to set cargo to auto. And match later the zero fuel weight to with the sim in xplane. Do have the accurate or most recent AIROC cycle 2104. And route looks quite straightforward. So Kuwait to Dubai. I haven't really flown this route or in this part of the world that much. I did a 777 video from Larnaca, here Cyprus, to Dubai. But let's do a shorter version of that. Alright. This is our flight plan. Maybe later we are going to change it up, depending on the ATIS information. And I'm going to check out if I can download a livery for the 330 for Kuwait Airlines, and also for this airport a scenery, if there is one available. I do have the Dubai airport scenery, the payware one from X Aviation. So let's check out the PDF view, and I'm just going to save it, and later we can check it out in Avitab. Alright, let's go ahead and we can open up xplane. So here we have the JARDesign A330-200 with the Rolls-Royce engines. As you can see, I did find a livery for today's flight, also an airport scenery. Not the best, but also it's alright. And this plane's actually quite nicely modeled here. Exterior and also the interior as well. We have a fully modeled passenger cabin. Cockpit could use a little bit of work, as you can see later, but it's alright. And here's the airport. And I still got the default xplane ground scenery. No ortho for today's flight. I think I have the area of Dubai a little bit enhanced. But here, standard stuff. And here we have the passenger cabin. Looking quite nice actually. First class and business class. Yeah, this interior is nicely done. And I have some views set up for flying, wing view here. So, there we go. Battery is 1.2 and APU battery. We have that on this plane. And we have also the ground handling plugin, Ground Handling Deluxe. It comes free with this plane. Otherwise, for other planes, we have to buy it. So, drive up all. And that brings everything. Passenger buses, firefighter, ambulance, limousine, fuel truck. And there comes the fuel truck. It's going to connect its hose to the right wing, fuel loading area. And everyone's quite busy. Containers are being loaded. Although I don't think we have much cargo today on the flight plan. And there it is. We can now fuel the airplane. And external power connected. You can also hear the BSS sounds in the background. Emergency exit lights to arm. We cannot test the annunciator lights. Passenger signs to auto. Nav and logo to 1. And test the APU fire warning system. Up here it is 1, 2, sometimes can be quite difficult to get the correct position. And IR3 to nav. And we can go to the MCDU, data, aircraft status, Rolls-Royce engines, correct, and also the latest ARAC, cycle 2104, radios, and the init page A. So, Kuwait City Airport to Dubai. And flight number KWI 861. I'm going to check that also in the flight plan. I'm not quite sure about that. Yeah, 681. Not that it does much of a difference here in the sim, but let's do everything correctly if we can. And flight level 370. Cost index 33. Not much, so we're going to save a little bit on fuel in exchange for a longer flying time. And we can do the flight plan. 15 left. One to 6, 2 to 5, and also here cannot really use the mouse scroll to get the or manipulate these switches like on many other airplanes. Two to 5. There we go. Switch it to active and VH F1. And 2968 QNH, there we have it. Flight plan says departing runways 15 left. But I have 33 right, so align the IRS. Forgot to click on that button. Let's go flight plan departure 33 right. Select that SID and put in the flight plan. To go to the airways page, go to M677. And this is going to fill out every waypoint between Cesra and VUTEB. Yep, there we go. VUTEB clan. And that's our arrival. Dubai 30 left. Yep, 3C. We do need the 3C. And we have ULDOT already selected. Approach via. There's no transition. Yeah, ULDOT. Click on that and check everything is fine. ILS 30 right or left. And insert. No discontinuities. So that's the flight plan. Let's go to the vertical revision page, and we cannot really get the wind data here with the JARDesign. And init page B we can load up the airplane first. And fuel, block fuel 14,000 kilograms. Flight plan should be in kilograms. I think I chose that option in SimBrief. Yep, looks like kilograms to me. Alright, so we have 16.8 thousand kilograms. So we have to defuel a little bit to get 14,000 block fuel. And let's go MCDU menu and load and fuel. So I'm going to match the zero fuel weight of the plane, not going to do exact cargo and passenger numbers, because it's a little bit different here. So main thing is we have to have 153.5, we have 153.6. So let's get rid of a bit of cargo. CG looks alright. And that's it. Oh, we need the init page B. Zero fuel weight 27.6. That's correct. So let's go slash 153.5. Put it there, and block fuel 14. And now we are ready with the init page A and B tropopause. Standard value. Not going to change that today. And now we can go to the performance page. Right there. Click on flaps. And it's going to trim it automatically. V speeds 139 V2. And we have iris alignment in 4 minutes. Transition altitude 13,000. Flex. And let's depart with flex 45. And now we can engage the fuel pumps. Engine fire test. Fire warning test. And soon we can also start the APU. Now for that we have to get rid of most of the stuff from ground handling. Yeah, squawk code, I'm going to stick with that. Something random. Flying offline. As usual. And we have a third FMC, but it's just for decoration. In the JARDesign A330. And we got the whole stuff here. So we have to get rid of these guys. Except for the ground power unit. Don't really want to depower the airplane. So, please go away, everybody. I want to start my APU. And also we cannot really hear the APU until I get rid of everything here. Something with the BSS sound pack and the ground handling plugin is conflicting with each other. And there goes everything. APU master. And there's the lower ECAM page. Flap open, and we can start the APU. And no sound. Yep, I think it's something with these plugins. Well, anyway. I do have all sounds set correctly. I think when I get rid of the ground power unit as well, then we can hear the APU then. Iris alignment in 2 minutes. Otherwise, everything is done. And from this position, we can already start the engines. We don't need pushback today. APU gen, APU available. Fantastic. Now we can get rid of the ground power unit. Switch it over to APU power. And we still have power, so APU is working correctly. And get rid of everything. And we have to click on hide all. And hide all. Now we can go ahead and start the engines. And we have also APU sounds. And airport scenery, let's check out where we have to depart. That's runway 15 right. And 33 left. Let's go plan mode, check out the flight plan. Yep, that's the approach to Dubai, and it looks correct. I've done the approach already once with the 777, so it should be okay to fly this route, even though I haven't really practiced or flown it before. And beacon lights on. We can start the engines. And we do need the APU bleed for that. So ignition to start. Should switch the lower ecam page to the engine page. So engine 1 starting. We do have the N3 indication since we have the Rolls-Royce engines. And now can hit the low rumble. Nice, it starts up quite fast, and there is the takeoff checklist already. So start number 2. There we go, N3 is rising. GPWS, what the hell? And we have good engine start on both engines. I don't know why we got the GPWS callouts or warnings. So I did not put on the test. Ignition back to norm. And let's set it to auto. I don't think the weather radar is working correctly, flaps 1. So most likely we are going to use terrain radar. And flight control. Pitch trim is already set, and that's the controls. And we are ready to go, parking brakes off. Lights, taxi lights on, APU bleed off. Alright, we are rolling. And there's the takeoff checklist. Auto brakes max in case of RTO, ground spoilers on. And takeoff checklist, no blue on the upper ECAM. APU off. Takes a bit of time for the APU to be completely shut off or shut down. I don't know how it is in real life, or is it a feature of this plane particularly, but I would imagine on the older A330s it takes a little bit of time for the APUs to start and to shut down as well. So everything in manage mode on the FCU, that's fine. And this plane on idle thrust slows down when taxiing, so you have to keep adding a little bit of thrust. Also, it's a little bit of sensitive thrust levers. It has distinct dead zones when we reach the detents. Yeah, we got the climb detent, the flex detent, and also the toga. And moving the throttle on my stick, my joystick, it has significant dead zones when I reach those detents. I hope it did make sense what I just said. The bottom line is, it's a bit sensitive. And checklist, yeah, I don't know how we can advise the cabin crew on this plane. Alright, so right now it's future me talking. I'm doing the post-editing of the video, and I just wanted to say this is where I'm being such a dumbass sometimes. I'm going for the wrong runway. Departure runway is 33 right, and I'm going for 33 left. I got confused somewhere on the way, and I also managed to take off from the wrong runway here. Yeah, but anyway, I did not want to re-record the whole video just for that. But way to go me. That's what I get when I do a full flight without practicing. But anyway, back to takeoff. And for some reason we have the TO inhibitor. It went away, probably I increased thrust a little bit too much. But we are just rolling down the taxiway. Beautiful A330. And what else can we do? Feels like I'm forgetting something. Weather radar, I don't think it works. Yep, although there's not much going on in the sky. TRA, tilt above. And strobe to auto, I think it should come on only when we reach 100 knots. And lights on. Let everybody know that we are taking off soon. And other than that, everything looks ready for departure. And once again we are slowing down. Yeah, we are only going with 10 knots. So we're going to use flex departure. I'm not going to follow the flight director exactly, because on this plane, JARDesign A330, it's going to tell me that I have to climb with 20 plus degrees of horizontal pitch. So that will be quite high, so I'm going to stick with 15 degrees. And checklist, yeah, these buttons are not working. So I don't know how we can advise the cabin crew, but the checklist is going to switch automatically when we have taken off. and now we are going fast. 27 knots. Terrain radar. That's working fine. Though most of the time we are going to fly above water. And here we go. Do you want to do a rolling takeoff, or yeah, we are doing flex takeoff, so it's going to step on the brakes, let the engine stabilize, and then go to the flex detent. Rolling slowly. But yeah, it should be 1 hour, 1.5 hours of airtime to Dubai, depending on the wind. Cruise altitude 370. And here we go, lining up with runway 33. And stepping on the brakes. Let's get the chronometer going. Yep. Can't really see it, but there it is. And 1.4 EPR. I'll let it stabilize there. And go for flex. Push the nose down, stay on the center line. There we have the TO inhibit. And 100 knots, release pressure. And V1. Rotate. Yeah, the airplane feels a little bit sluggish, as it should be for such a big bird. We are flying. Now where is this flight director taking me? 25 degrees. And looks like we have to move to the right to intercept that waypoint. Oh my god. I've taken off from the wrong runway. That was 33 left. Yeah, big mistake right there. But anyway, we are already flying. So, let's make the best out of it. And let's stick to 15 degrees pitch up. And there comes the flight director. And autopilot 1. Yeah. Couple of months not flying, and that's what happens. And airspeed is decreasing 150 right now. At least we are on the correct course. We're flying really slow. I don't know if it's a speed constraint or something up with the plane itself. Yeah, we are doing 150, so I'm going to keep the flaps for now. Yeah, looks like there's a constraint there, but I don't know, 150 is quite slow. Yeah, we should be speeding up after that waypoint. So let's go up 370, push it in. Yep, I don't know why, but it changed to 380, maybe because no, it should be 370. Probably I over rotated that switch on the FCU to 380 and then I pushed it back to 37. So we are climbing. Good old default X-plane textures right there, and flaps up.
Flaps 0.
And switching between these views. It's not the prettiest, but yeah, after that stunt, taking off from the wrong runway, let's keep the mistakes for to a minimum right now. There is the top climb point. From this point on we should have a uneventful flight. But also the habitat map. Kind of like to look at it now and then again, where we are exactly on the globe. It takes a lot of time to load for some reason. I don't think I'm downloading anything in the background. Yep, I can't read anything from that. But yeah, we are turning towards Dubai to the southeast. A couple of boats. Alright, 13,000 feet. We can switch the lights on. I'm going to get rid of the wing light. I don't like it. In the meantime, we can take a look at the waypoints right there and the routing. Double climb point coming up. 13,000 feet. We have to switch to standard soon on the QNH. Also, there is the outer tank crossfeed. That's a typical function of the A330. And let's go to standard.
Standard Barrow cross-check. Passing flight level 1, 3, 5.
Yeah, the checklist switched automatically. And we are on our way. So here on the lower ecam page, fuel page, we can see the outer tank crossfeed process happening as fuel moves from the outer tanks. You can also see the fuel temperature, also fuel used, and there is no significant difference between the tanks, left tanks and right tanks, so there is no leak. It happened on A330 from Canada to Portugal. And we are on our way at our cruising altitude. It's a little bit to go to the top of descent point. And cruise page, or actually progress page. This is the cruise page, 259 nautical miles to the top of descent point. And we are cruising. You can also check out the other eCamp pages, those ones that are available. Bleeds, yeah, no pressure page. Yeah, actually, although this plane has limited functionality, it's not that bad. And it's still being updated. There are issues with it, of course, but it's flyable. So, we had a significant tailwind, 70 knots, and top of descent point is coming. It's within 50 nautical miles already, and there is Dubai on the map. So we can begin our descent soon. I'm just going to put 10,000 here initially. I'm going to look up the local transition altitude. And we are waiting for that hockey stick to get within 5 nautical miles. And fuel looks good. Not much of a difference between the two engines in fuel usage. N1, N2 and N3 vibration normal. Fantastic. Yeah, so far so good. Cannot really see the airport on the map yet. I was going to wait for this information to be available. But yeah, so far this plane hasn't really had any major bugs. Sometimes I heard this plane can get a little bit buggy. And there it is. We are descending. Engines are rolling back, going to idle. Slowly actually. Yeah, we are still not on idle thrust, but we are descending. 260 knots. It's okay actually. I guess we'll see if we can do a whole flight with these updates without any major issues. Can get the weather data. No updates. So let's see our approach. Yep, runway 30 left, and looks like we are going to have to be at 2000 feet in order to intercept the glide slope and localizer, and crossfeed is still ongoing. But yeah, so far so good. It's a little bit bumpy. Sometimes we get a tailwind component pushing us towards Dubai. Actually not bad. Whoa, what's going on right there? It looks like the plane had some trouble with the drag calculation, if we need it or not. It seems to be okay now. And we are descending nicely. Alright, we have already spent 1 hour in the air since takeoff. And we are approaching the airport of Dubai, going down to 15,000 feet, which is the transition altitude. According to the MCDU, don't have charts available right now. And the ATIS, we are already in range. Wind light and variable, temperature 36. And altimeter 2959, arriving runway 30 left, so that has not changed. Perfect. Yeah, we are configured already for 30 left. And 15,000 feet, I'm just going to set the barrel ref 2959 already. And landing lights. Nose lights to TO. That light will only be switched on when the landing gear is down. There we go, going down to 3,000 feet. The airport is up ahead somewhere on the coast. And this panel has no functionality, cannot really get the meter data. And there's an oil platform. Do we need a little bit of speed brake? You have to be below 11,000 feet. It's a constraint right there. Yeah, looks like we are going to make it. Also, we're going to slow down to 230. Now let's extend. Let's see. It's not looking too bad. Nice texturing. No, but yeah, let's get it back down.
Spoilers disarmed.
Airplane is still maintaining 280. Yeah, most likely after that waypoint we are going to slow down to 230. And 10,000 feet. And there's the coastline. Yeah, I think in 20 minutes we will be on the ground. Landed safely. Decelerating. Yeah, there are a couple of constraints on the way. We are going down to 3,000, but there's a constraint 8,000 up ahead. Lights are on and we are approaching Dubai. Here are the extension speeds. Fantastic. And here is the airport already. We're going to land here. Runway 30 left. And a couple of constraints are on the way. And we don't really need the terrain radar anymore. Weather radar is not working, so switch it off. TCAS pointing below. And we're going to turn around and land on runway 30. Dubai scenery. It's not looking too bad, but watched the video recently about the Dubai scenery in the new Microsoft Flight Sim. It's different, to say the least. And the sleds are down. We are going to hit 210 knots. We have to go down to 2,000. And here we go, below 7,000, constraint there. There is 2,000. And then we are going to intercept the glide slope. Let's set it to 2,000 right there. And looks straightforward. Beautiful weather. And we are at 7,500. Nice. Yeah, we can arm the spoilers. I'm going to also use auto brakes low, but I'm going to set that when the landing gear is down. And here we are on final approach. Deceleration point is coming up. There is 2000 feet. And at the decel point, approach phase should be activated automatically. We have our glide slope and localizer indicators. We have lined up quite nicely. ILS is bringing us in, or actually we are not on ILS just yet. But yeah, we are going down from 3000 to 2000 soon. And the glide slope indicator should begin moving down. There's the checklist. And we are maintaining 185 for now. Let's check out if the ATIS is still correct. Can't really seem to make it louder. Yeah, but anyway, seems to be the same.
Phase activated.
And there we go.
Altimeter alive.
Gear down. Oops.
Gear down.
Can only do it with the keyboard. Don't need the 80s anymore. And nice angled landing gear.
Flaps.
And flaps 3 and flaps 4. Speed is going down and flaps 4.
Flaps full.
Lights are on. And auto brake's too low. We have quite a high angle of attack, and the glide slope indicator is still there. Did not begin to move just yet, so I'm going to increase speed a little bit. Expedite. Let's go with 150 for now, and when we are on the glide slope, then we can go back to manage mode. And let's see if we can land this beast. I think last time I flown this plane was 6 months ago. Let's see how the handling has changed since the updates. So we are configured for landing. Spoilers armed. Auto brakes also. Looking nice. Still doing 150 knots, so the angle of attack is not that high. Cabin crew. Yeah, I don't know how to advise cabin crew in this plane. And landing no blue on the upper E-cam. And there is the glide slope indicator moving down. So I'm going to push the approach button. And we are on the localizer, glide slope is armed. Although it's also indicating that we are already on the glide slope. Well, I don't know. And I can't push that autopilot disconnect button on the side stick, so we have to do that on the FCU, which is not quite correct. And there it is, glide slope. Yeah, this plane has limited functionality, but it's flyable. And 2000 feet. Runway is up ahead. Perfect visibility. Couple of functions in the FMC or MCDU are not quite there. And also the handling is a little bit difficult, but let's go my aircraft and bring this 330 down for landing. And side stick is moving. Just tiny bit of corrections to stay on the localizer and glide slope. We don't have a crosswind component right there. Before that we had just 1 knot. So wind is still light and variable. Maintaining speed. Back to manage mode. We still have 6,600 fuel on board, kilograms of fuel. And here we go. I got my objects density here in the sim set to medium, so we don't have that many buildings right now. And runway 30 left is in sight, 2 whites, 2 red. Landing inhibit. There is the message. Yep, 500. Getting a little bit of lag.
Land green check.
Probably because of the scenery.
300.
And landing. Let's line up with the center line.
100. 100 above.
And try to do a
50,
smooth landing.
40, 30. 20.
Yep. Throttles close. Oh, we are rising. Climbing. I don't know why.
10. 5.
And floating. Oh my
5.
god. Let's let's go.
South.
And now we are down butter,
Ground spoiler.
but way past the touchdown zone. Maybe it was me or the airplane. We floated quite a bit.
70 knots.
Yeah, but anyway. We have arrived here in Dubai. So maybe it was my technique or the plane
Flaps
itself.
2. Flaps 0.
We got stuck in ground effect or I don't know. So
Spoilers disarmed.
well, let's clean the plane up. And let's look for a parking spot here. Up ahead.
Need to check, sir, if everything is okay with the lights.
Taxi lights. And we can start the APU. Let's add a bit of power. So yeah, JARDesign A330. It's a decent plane. And APU starting. I can't remember the default engine sounds, but these BSS sounds are actually quite nice. We are parking, yeah, let's go ahead and park there, next to Swissair. Looks like the 340. Yeah, actually, Tolis is working on the 340 600. Can't wait to see what it has to offer. Actually, there has been quite a lot of good airplanes. Inbuilds A300 on the line, looks great. I don't have it right now in this economy. Also the Just Flight BAA 146 came out recently. Looks awesome. And of course there will be the MD-11 from Rotate Sim. And let's park just up ahead. There we are, A330, 20 meters. Let's come to a stop. Oh, 1 meter short. Come on. Just a little bit. And stop. We have arrived. So we can soon shut down the engines. And we can take a look at the replay. Oops. Lights are still on. We have blinded the ground crew a little bit. Maybe you bleed, and engines. There we go. And soon the auto gate should come and everybody can disembark. In the meantime, thanks for watching this video, hope everybody liked it. And we can take a look at the replay. As I recall, this airplane has, or the custom animations in the replay mode are not quite correct, so I think flaps and speed brakes will not be visible, but we'll see. So, thanks for watching and wish everybody the best, and I'll see you in the next one.
$200. 100, 100 above. 50, 40, 30, 20. 10, 5. 100, 100 above. 50, 40, 30, 20.